everybody, this is Ryan McClanahan with HistoryThroughCards.com. I hope you're all doing very well today. So, I want to see if I can make a Hall of Fame case for Marshall Goldberg of the Chicago Cardinals. This is actually a 1948 Bowman. It's his rookie card, in fact. However, he only has two cards. One card, this card, in fact, is the only one that I'm aware of from his playing days. And then he's got a 1955 Topps All-American as well. And I'm going to show you both of those right now. So there's actually a few things to consider if you're going to try to grab his rookie card, and one of them is that the 1948 Bowman baseball and football cards tend to turn a brownish color as they age. It's a part of the normal natural aging process of the paper or the stock that was used. Um, and it's one of the reasons why you should actually store your cards in a dark place, and probably with low humidity. The other thing you should probably kind of keep an eye out for when looking for these cards is that they tend to really end up being off center, and that's really true with a lot of Bowman cards. I think really the 1948 Bowman was their first issue. It's taken a while for the company to actually come back from the wartime, um, I guess, process of getting back to normal, if you will. That did take well over a year. In the event, I thought they did actually a really good job on the Bowman the football set, and even the baseball set too is kind of nice. Um, the football set of the 1948 Bowman is it's really kind of unusual, I think, for me because you're going to find a lot of players that you're not going to find anywhere else, and a lot of these players actually are coming back from the service, and some of them are really they're retiring or they're just coming up uh, through the NFL, and for for Marshall here, he actually retired in 1948, so he's really not going to have any other cards except for the 1955 Topps All-American. Now that card itself is a lot cheaper than this card. This is a short print card, um, and I forgot what it's divisible by. Maybe Chris from Stories and Cardboard would be able to know that. I once did know that and I forgot. So Chris, if you're out there, you could try to let me know if that'd be great. Anyway, um, Marshall Goldberg is really kind of a player that I always heard about growing up, and I really wanted to try to grab this card. It took me quite a long time to try to find this card, but I'm really happy I did. Um, he came up to the Cardinals in 1939, and he signed a pretty hefty contract. Um, Bidwell actually, I think he paid him about they said in the press $10,000 to $12,000 in 1939. That was a lot of money. Um, anyway, he really made good because basically they were getting him because of his high school and college careers. Now in high school, he was a three-sport athlete, and he was on the He was the captain of all three teams: the baseball team, the track team, and the football team. And um, he he really stood out. Now he came from a very small mining community called Elkins, West Virginia. He was actually named all state in all three sports, which I think is kind of impressive. But then once he gets into college, he went to the University of Pittsburgh, and he led the Panthers to two consecutive championships. Um, and he won the 1937 Rose Bowl. It was there where he teamed up with. Let me see. I know I wrote it down somewhere. He teamed up with Dick Cassiano and Harold Curly Stebbins and John Chickerneo. John Chickerneo. Now, I found out that two of those guys played briefly. Let's see, Chickerneo was with the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1940, and Dick Casaneo, he was with the New York Giants in 1942, and Curly Stebbins, actually, he didn't enter the NFL as a player, but he did later. I think he was with the NFL afterwards, but he actually had a college career upstairs, if you will. And I think two of those guys were also in the Navy as well. Goldberg actually ended up, in the Navy too. Um, and from what I've heard too, is after Goldberg's career, he really did a lot to help out the University of Pittsburgh in a lot of different fields, not just sports. And I think he was on the board of directors as well. So he really kind of did very well for himself as a football player, but also as a private citizen because he went into the insurance company after his retirement in 1948, and he then went on to take over a machine parts factory, and he named it after himself, and he became a multimillionaire. Um, and so while he was in college, the Fordham coach Jim Crowley once said that he was actually these three guys were actually four guys. Uh, they were actually better than the four horsemen, and I believe Jim Crowley was actually one of the four horsemen. Um, he actually finished third for the Heisman, but there's a few people, historians, who said that he should have won the Heisman um, during his college days, and he didn't. But uh, again, winning two consecutive championships is not bad. A lot of the records that he held in college were actually broken by Tony Dorsett back in 1974. But as an all-around ball player, he actually beats out Tony Dorsett. And Dorsett was a fantastic ball player. I've actually never saw him play, but he's another guy who I really have kind of admired as a sports star, I guess. Um, the other thing with Goldberg, which I find kind of fascinating, is that when I look around at my notes here, the 1947 championship, it was the only time, I guess, that the Cardinals won the championship uh, cleanly. And what I mean by that is that the Cardinals had actually won the championship in 1925 against the Pottsville Maroons, and the Maroons had their championship. They won the game, but they had it stripped from them by the NFL, and they gave it to the Cardinals. And so this was the first time, and I think the only time, that the Cardinals actually won a championship on their own. And it was just because uh, Goldberg intercepted a pass by the Eagles to win the championship that year, and it's quite amazing. Charlie Trippi uh, was the quarterback on that Cardinals team. It's a great Cardinals team. I'm not going to knock them at all. Um, and Trippy's still alive. He's 100 years old, and my hat's off to the guy. And I'll get to Trippy in another video because I think he's a fantastic ball player. But um, as far as Goldberg is concerned, he was an All-American in 1937 and in 1938, and he was a two-way star for Pittsburgh. And during both of those All-American years, he was an, a halfback for 1937, I believe, and a fullback in 1938. And he switched positions for one of the other ball players on his team. Um, and I think it was De Cassiano, if I'm not mistaken. But um, later on in life, he said that he didn't want to talk about or live in the past, and he was really kind of modest about his sports career, his football career. It really is kind of a fantastic thing. Um, and he was really wanted to be more known for his off the field accomplishments. So he really didn't talk a whole lot about himself. Uh, there are a lot of he did sign a lot of autographs, so they are out there. And as I say, he only has like one card from his playing days, and then the other one, obviously, afterwards in 1955. And that one's pretty cheap. The 1955 Topps All American, you can get that really affordable, and it's a nice card too. I do like it. He is really kind of known to be one of the best players of his generation, not in the Football Hall of Fame. Now, the last time I think he was up for Hall of Fame consideration twice. I think the first time was in 2006, 2007. I was right after he passed away that he was up for Hall of Fame consideration. And I think he was up again in, I want to say 2020, but in both times he hasn't made it. I think it's only a matter of time before he gets in the Hall of Fame. Uh, 1941 was kind of a breakout year for him as well. So let's see. He was an All Pro in 1941 and a Pro Bowler in 1941 as well. His college career is just off the charts, and he is in the College Hall of Fame. His Cardinals number 99 is it's retired. Now, I didn't actually know that his number was 99. I thought it was 40, 42. Anyway, yeah, you can see you can see right here it's actually number 42. So in any event, I think that he really should be a Hall of Famer. I'm not biased anyway, but I always heard about Marshall Goldberg being a really great ball player. He did he did a lot during his football career, and he should be rewarded for it. Um, if it's me, I'm putting him in, but other people may feel otherwise. Now, when Goldberg passed in 2006, his family thought that he actually died from dementia related to his football career, and I don't know if that's actually true. We won't actually know. The thing is that two things that I actually kind of look at when uh, a story like this occurs is that the age of the person and then his football career. Now, I think Art Donovan, his his death is actually definitely caused by like a CTE like illness. You can make a better case for Art Donovan's passing and Lou Creekmer as well. And I'm not sure about Marshall Goldberg. Now, the family has said that he did have a lot of memory issues as an older man, and they actually, they did really believe that they were caused by his time in football. And I can only think of maybe one time that he was knocked out during a game, and then he came back and scored a touchdown on the very next play. Uh, he was 88 years old when he passed away, which yeah, you don't see a whole lot of pro football players from his time reaching the 80 mark. And Charlie Trippi, I know being a quarterback is a little bit different. However, um, Charlie Trippi is like now 100 years old, and he is a rarity. Really aren't too many football players who have even reached 100. I think Ace Parker was 101 when he passed away, I believe in 2006. Um, anyway, or 2008, one of those years. In any event, um, CTE is something that I think the NFL is really kind of looking into, and brain related or brain damage, if you should, uh, with their ball players, and a lot of these guys really have some major health issues as they get older, just because of their playing career, and this is one of the reasons why the the NFL Hall of Fame has its requirements that you only need to play 5 years to get in the Hall of Fame, because it is a brutal sport. And even Teddy Roosevelt acknowledged that back in 1905 and uh, told the powers that be in football that you guys have to clean up your act or we're gonna just get rid of you. And it's it was a lot more dangerous in Teddy Roosevelt's time, and I think maybe the technology is really kind of improving over the years to diagnose and um, kind of help these ball players out, to really kind of make sure that this stuff doesn't happen again. And we don't really know how many ball players have died from CTE complications or Alzheimer's or dementia. But it's the one thing that really kind of uh, makes me question whether or not that football can remain in its present form. If I know you can't have like a touch football, I think it would ruin the game. But especially like these guys, just I think they now kind of understand more than they did before the Mike Webster incident, and I think that was 2002. And if you haven't seen the movie Concussion, it is really good. Uh, it's it's just the thing that I find really sad is that when you're looking over uh, the checklist for, like, say, the 1952 Bowman or the 1948 Bowman, you see just how many of these guys died young. Like they weren't making it past 60, 70 years old. And in some cases, uh, you have ball players who are like in their 50s, or 40s, um, and the injuries really kind of catch up to you too. If you break a leg or something like that, you're gonna feel it every time there's a rain shower, 3 days out. So I can't imagine. I never played football. Uh, I was, I think a buck 25 on my best day in high school, uh, and so I don't know what it's like really to be out on that field. But I do worry about these guys going forward, the ball players going forward, and I think maybe the NFL has done a fairly good job in detecting this stuff and really kind of maybe helping out the ball players um, in the future so this stuff doesn't happen, because ultimately what's going to happen is that when they have all these medical issues after their playing career, it's most likely going to be picked up by the uh, National Football League in some form or fashion, and that means that it's the fans that are ultimately going to be picking up the tab for all these guys' injuries. And the thing is, they they sign on that dotted line for the contract, um, but that doesn't mean that they sign up to be severely injured, and nobody does. It's it is supposed to be a fun game, and I understand why people like it. I understand why people enjoy it. And as long as it can remain fun and a game that doesn't require a lot of injuries for the ball player, I think everything will be okay. But you really need to like be on the forefront of technology and medicine to prevent some of this stuff from occurring, like it did maybe with Marshall Goldberg and definitely with Pete Fihos because he did pass away from Alzheimer's as well. And, you know, a lot of these guys that did. So, anyway, let me know if you guys think that Marshall Goldberg should be in the Hall of Fame. If you do believe that, you guys can always write into the Hall of Fame and make a case for him. And I might do the same actually, because I do believe that he should be in. If it's me, I'm putting him in, but other people may feel otherwise. And so today I just wanted to tell you a little bit about Marshall Goldberg. And if you guys have any thoughts about Marshall Goldberg getting in the Hall of Fame or any other ball player from, I guess, the golden age of football, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories and your comments, guys. So with that, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it and have a good day. Bye.